Hi, I'm Tim Roble, and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Today is physical build day about 26 and a half. I will not be working on the truck for the next 2 days, but I just still wanted to show you the progress that I have going on right now. Today is June 4th. It's my 50th birthday, so that's a landmark for me. And I'm super happy to be where I am in life and doing this type of thing. I got the dual spare mounts put in, and I'm super happy with how all of that turned out. And the top is squared, and I got the two runners in for the sides on each side. So basically we'll talk about how this is going to look. You can see down here we have a taper that's coming in off of this wall, so we'll have another tube coming up here and following the same angle to the top. And then right here, I'm going to attach some of this wood will be cut back, and this will be boxed in. And I'm going to 3-roll a hoop around this inner and outer, so it'll be the outer where the tire is going to stick out from the wall about that much. And what that'll do is kind of cut down from some of the inside height. And then I want to cut the wood out also and put a mesh in there. I don't want rain coming down and working its way in the tire and into the inside. So I'm going to make sure there's a distinct drain. Probably put some mesh in there, like the Holy mesh that I like. So I got this framed up. I did this Saturday, Sunday. I've had a pretty busy week working on client stuff for the last I think last week I logged something like 46 hours. But this is where we're at on this project. From the top, it's going to be just like the picture from one when we talked about it. It's going to come down and have a nice transition down and be sharp. From that point there, it's not going to follow that back. It's going to come out here and follow and tie in. Should look pretty, I think, pretty slick. Real happy with how everything is coming out right now. Packaging, this is a lot to put in a platform. I wish I didn't have to go as long proportion here, but I think once we get everything put together, it's going to look nice, and most of all, it's going to be functional. There's a lot of people that are doing expedition rigs right now, and or an adventure truck. Global Expedition comes to mind. They're doing it on a full-size chassis. That once I go to a full-size chassis, or if I go to a full-size chassis, I think that's a easier platform to build on than what this was. But super happy that I did the 3-tube Fox bypass shocks. I haven't seen anybody do that. Have an Atlas build me a set of performance spring packs for this. But with just this little bit set up here, you can kind of get an idea what the inside living space is going to be. Basically, it's going to be 6 foot by 8 foot. And for those of you that haven't been following, that we're going to have a couch / futon bed that will also fold up. And then on this side, we're going to have a sink, a refrigerator, and then a small little burner, and then a prep stuff for food. Most of the cooking on this is going to be done outside. And then back here, I'll have 3 different hinges that get set up, and it'll follow, of course, the curve, and that will fold down like an enclosed trailer, and I'll be able to ride my dirt bike up, or mountain bikes, and put them inside. So packaging on this has been, it's been a tough one to get all figured out. We're to the point now where what I got to do is really get things framed up. It's to the simple part. Not a whole lot to figure out, just a little bit of work to do it. I will physically not be able to get back on this project until probably Wednesday or Thursday. I think I'm going to take some of that time to go put some training sessions in on my 450 XCF, because we have Last Dog Standing coming this weekend, this Saturday, and I have not been training. I haven't been on the motorcycle in about 2.5 months. I'm still in great shape. Being out here working in the heat, I've been taking my supplements and stuff to help me out with that. Lots of dill pickle juice. But yeah, I'm not cramping up in 100-degree days while I'm welding and doing that. So I feel like I'm in decent shape. So my plan is my truck's not done. Glen Helen is about 5.5 to 7 miles from here, so my bike is plated and street legal, so I'm gonna ride my bike, One Bike Concept, to the gas station and fill up. Then the Glen Helen, I'll pay to get in, I'll go register, do the race. I won't be alone. I got friends out there that are from all over the world, and it's neat to meet up with them. I wasn't sure I was going to make it, and I'm still not on 100%. I'm probably around 95% saying I'm going to go and do it. So today is my birthday, 50. Man, that's a monumental thing for me. I'm hoping this is Half-Life, and I'm doing dietary changes and trying to stay healthy. Health is my #1 deal going on right now. I want to be do a little better on my eating. I've been doing, throughout this whole project, I pretty much have been doing intermittent fasting. So 4 to 5 days a week. I only eat on a window between 2 o'clock and I'll say 9 o'clock. So I have lost a little bit of weight and I feel a lot better. Breakfast always has slowed me down, and I never really had the permission from anyone to skip breakfast. Oh, you need breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. No, I eat breakfast and I want to go take a nap. So that doesn't work for me. This intermittent fasting thing, it probably doesn't work for everybody either, but it works for me. Another thing I wanted to address is I get these questions all the time. Hey, I have a son or a daughter that wants to get into fabricating, and what does it take to do something like this? Well, this type of project right here, you probably need about a $2,000 investment in tools, and you could probably do less than that. But let's go to the back and I'll show you consistently what I've used. One of the big things is like a rafter square. You need to square things up. You need a tape measure. But we'll go back here and I'll show you the little cart that I use, and we'll talk about it real quick. General light hand tools. We have some clamps. You see a pair of channel locks, wire cutters, needle nose, adjustable wrenches. Here again, I got wrenches I can go get that are the correct size for things, but for just making things fit real quick on something, those work great. Hammer and dolly, you don't really have to buy the whole set, not for doing stuff like this, or 99% of the time I use this hammer for all of my body work. If it's something that's coming down to a final finish, I go take a little bit of time and polish the face of this, take the dents out, because that does transfer onto your material. For this one, I did use the Mishitoyu Digital Protractor. That keeps me within my 1/10 of a degree and 1/16 of an inch, so tape measure is important also. I'd say have a decent selection of channel lock, or not channel lock, but vice grip pliers. This is kind of a specialty one that I use for joining panels and holding those together. Talk real quick about the 4.5-inch grinder. I have Bosch, Makita, and Milwaukee. I don't use the guards. I know people are going to have a cow on that, but one of the first shops that I worked on, the grinder jumped, and I saw a guy's finger. He was doing the wrong thing, not going the correct direction, and really hammering down on the grinder, and it jumped, and it kicked his finger in with a glove on, and went into the guard, and pretty much almost severed his finger. That day forward, I've always removed the guard. For the cutting, you see the picture on Facebook all the time that the wheel's stuck in the guy's face and he's in the hospital. I don't know how that happens. One, I don't put my face in line with the disc, but I buy quality disc. I use the Diablo disc. I get those at Home Depot. Same thing for the grinder. I usually set up a cutter, a grinder, and a sander on the cart. But if you're worried about, here again, I'm not telling you to take your guards off, do it at your own risk type thing. But I don't run guards. If you're worried about it, put safety glasses on and then a face shield. That's probably the best thing that you can do. I usually 99% of the time wear gloves when I'm operating any of this. Sometimes you don't want to use gloves around power equipment, like a drill press. I make it a habit to take my gloves off. I've seen some terrible things happen there. But for for the most part, I say that's how I operate. I have not had an accident with these. You know, every once in a while you'll nip a finger, or, you know, things will get wadded up. But that kind of thing happens. But basically you can do this cart right here for probably about $1,000. It's got a Makita drill and impact on it. This is a socket set that's a Craftsman. It's 3/8 drive. That's pretty much all I need to cover just about everything on the truck. It has both metric and standard in it. Down in the bottom you'll see some bigger hammers, pneumatic stuff. I rarely use the pneumatic stuff anymore. I prefer electric. A square, that's something that's always good. On this project, you've seen me use the Millermatic 211. I've had some questions about that because some of you know I really like the Everlast product line. Why did I go to the Miller? Miller is a little bit better of a product, and what makes it better is it's got this chart inside. So when I'm teaching someone to weld and fabricate, we can refer to this chart for our settings on the rheostats. Rheostats are here in the front of the machine. What this machine has that a lot don't is it has a selector that allows you to select the wire that you have, and it will set your voltage and your wire speed for you. You just have to tell it, hey, I'm on 14 gauge or I'm an 1/8 inch. Or if you're doing, let's say you're joining 14 gauge to 1/8 inch, you may want to just run this a little bit in the middle, or you may want to concentrate a little bit more heat on the 1/8 inch, which you should do anyway, than the 14 gauge. But this really makes it easier for the new guy or gal to come in and train with, and that's why I went to the Miller. So trying to answer some of these questions that I've been getting. Bike is all prepped for Last Dog Standing. Super fun race. It's one of 3 America's extreme or hard enduros. Tennessee Knockout, Last Dog Standing, and King of the Motos. And I've done all of them except for the Tennessee Knockout. So bike is prepped, ready to go. I got to get some lube on the chain, and it's not exactly clean, but I know it's going to get muddy and thrashed anyway. But that's going to be it for now. Update on the truck, update on me turning 50 and the direction I'm kind of heading. And kind of what I would buy one more time as far as tools and equipment to get started in fabrication. You could do a lot of things with just this little kit and a welder. What would be a good first project for a new welder? I would say build a welding table. That's probably your best bet. Teach you to get the legs on square and straight, tacking and welding in. But that's going to be it for now. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really appreciate the comments and how well you guys have been a supportive, great community. Probably the best overlanding adventure type people has been the best community that I've dealt with for YouTube. One more shot of the truck, spares in place. I'm super happy with how everything is turning out. But that's going to be it for now. If you like this type of thing, hit like and subscribe. There's a little notification bell next to it. You can click on that, and that'll send you an email every time I upload a new video if you're interested. That's going to be it for now. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you from my heart. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tim Roble, and I'll catch you here next time.